What's going on, guys?
Hi.
Awesome seeing you again. Last time we got to see in person, I think was it Dragon Con?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, that was
like
forever
years ago.
We're
Yeah.
way overdue for a good hangout.
I know we need to. I still haven't even made it up to a photo shoot. That was one of my big things that I wanted to do, is actually go to one of your guys' photo shoots for the covers. So
It's funny you bring that up. We were talking about that the other day. That was Feathers and Fire was like the biggest snowstorm we had that season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only because Sasha is so strong and fearless that we actually made it to the studio.
Yeah.
I was like, get in the car. We're packed. It doesn't matter. We'll make it.
So you guys use bobsleds to get there, I think.
Luckily, the talent, Heather had flown in.
Yeah.
That was somehow the best luck we ever had. I mean,
Yeah.
we got there, and it's just a matter of us getting there. And Sasha has no problem with cold and snow and ice and dangerous roads. And
Fine.
Yeah, and you're from St. Louis, Gene. So you've seen a lot of bad ice, at least.
Yeah. I've seen tornadoes. I've seen ice. I've seen all kinds of stuff. Which the East Coast, you're right. It's mild in that sense. But you were supposed to fly in too.
I know. I was going to try and get up there for. It wasn't Phantom Queen. I think it was some of the new Nate or Callie pictures.
Yeah. You were going to come in early on.
Yeah. Just kept getting pushed back. So we'll make it happen.
All right.
Please. Yeah, let's do it.
Shoot, and really, that would be the most important part, is make sure that you're here. Not just the talent, but you are the talent. We wouldn't have that talent without you.
No, I'm not the talent. I'm just the guy that annoys you guys with all the comments and feedback on the covers. So, but no, I guess I should have started this introducing you. But this is Gene Mollica and Sasha Almazan. Is that how I can never? Did I say it right? All right, cool. I was trying to tell Lane, this is how you say it. Then I was like, wait, do I say it like that? Because I just always say Sasha. But they are the brilliant masterminds behind all the Callie books, all the Quinn books, the Nate books, and now the Alchemist Air series. And trying to think. I know there's new projects that we might talk about soon. But yeah, you guys are killer. You also do Kevin Hearn, or used to.
Yeah.
And so Ella Summers, right? Yeah. And then there's some non-fantasy that I'm not as familiar with, but if I see it, I know it's you guys because it's a good cover. But yeah, if you just want to talk, kind of introduce yourself for a minute.
Sure. Sasha, you start.
Not fair.
Okay, so Sasha and I have been designing covers and working together for over 4 years. Gmlock Studio has been around for quite a while, and then actually, as the indie market grew, it became more dynamic because people are coming in with greater marketing needs, greater photo needs. It was very distant from the traditional publishing mode, which was one cover at a time. As these needs grew, it got very challenging, and so I kind of lucked out. I met Sasha. I was looking around in hope to expand the studio, and I lucked out. Sasha came out originally as hair and makeup genius, which she totally is, and I think she's the best stylist I've ever seen in my life. But so creative and so talented, now with the camera and the design, that we've been able to expand beautifully and seamlessly. So it's been great.
Yeah, I think I was hiding my talents just because I was like, oh, I don't know this guy.
Oh my God!
I don't want him to know too much. I don't want him to know I'm an artist.
I was like, it was her friends who said, well, call Sasha because we have a network of creative people here in Maplewood. And I was really looking around, and a lot of people knew about it. And they said, well, you should call her. And then we met a couple of times. Of course, Sasha said nothing about herself. And finally, we had a big requirement that required just a huge amount of hair and makeup knowledge and historical knowledge. And it was a big, very accurate historical series for Lucinda Brandt. And I reached out one more time in desperation. I said, look, if you could just help us out here, we'll have other people on the team. Maybe you could just assist and do some consulting, whatever. And that's how it started.
Yeah. And in a really nice way.
Yeah.
It just kind of unfolded. And I think now our brains are so in sync, or not maybe that's a better word.
We've always been in sync.
He's looking at one angle and I'm looking at another, and so we're like yin and yang, and we're able to just really create. I feel like it's like everything has just been incredible from day one.
Yeah.
We're able to just really bounce back and forth, and his strengths and my strengths, and it's just a really nice, a great balance. Actually.
I think you guys complement each other perfectly, because Gene is very technical and he's got these really grandiose ideas, just kind of cinematic ideas. But then you have the same thing, but it's from a different perspective sometimes, Sasha. Like you and I really click sometimes. And it's just weird, like, because the three of us together always kind of combine our forces, like
yes.
we always come up with really cool concepts together by kind of bumping heads. And
Shayne, you and I usually win.
Absolutely. It's like a battle. I'm like, okay.
And then Gene's bigger and bigger as we go, because he's like, what are they doing?
Yeah, Sasha and I will talk, and then all of a sudden she calls Gene. She's like, well, now we have to add a unicorn. We have to add this. And he's like, what are you talking about? I already finished it.
I've gotten much more flexible. I have to. I've become so much more agreeable and flexible and kind and calm.
Yeah.
You know, the forces of the universe are just too much to match. So I'm just like, okay, whatever we're doing, we're doing.
Yeah.
It's a great partnership. I love working with you guys. Even though I probably make all of you crazy, I love working with you guys.
Oh, man, you're a pleasure.
No, it's always a pleasure, really.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes you'll come up with something and an idea, and I'm like, yes, that, and then we have to do this. I don't know how we're going to do this, but we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And then that's the fun part. So it's always challenging. It's never just like, oh, I just want this guy. It's always challenging. And then I feel like at that time, Gene and I had this opportunity to really expand what is in our minds and take it to another level. You don't want just something simple. And I feel like that has helped us to grow also.
Yeah.
As artists, because you're challenging us. And I think that's really what it's about. And we're never really done. You know, we just really have to keep it going and just take it just a step further. When we think we're done, it's like, you know, so we always send you that email like, okay, here's the final, and here's the final.
Right.
Yeah. Final.
Yeah. Then we go to do the banners, we do them all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Whenever you guys do the banners, you're like, wait, I'm changing something. It's gonna look so cool to watch.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Because, like you said, Sasha, I mean, the ideas are fabulous, and so we just like, oh my god, here's an opportunity to make this. Okay, we're all over it. It takes time to develop them. Yeah.
No, you've got some magic, both of you guys. There's no question about it. So,
Yeah.
We've got questions from some of the readers, but maybe real quick, if you just want to kind of go over your process in general,
Sure.
Because a lot of people just start with a computer and they use kind of stock stuff. And I know you touched that a little bit, but you guys also have an entirely different process. And maybe you can just tell the readers how you approach a new project.
Yeah. Well, you know, we have a photo studio, and a big part of the business is the photography end of it. And because we're photographers and stylists, and we have all this history in that area, you know, we sort of started our covers from that process, and then learned photo manipulation and photo compositing over the years. I've gotten better and better, obviously, with it. But so we start off with, you know, selecting talent, reviewing talent very carefully, building amazing costumes. You know, we created a lot of all the costumes we create ourselves. You know, anything you've seen on the cover. I mean, we only just started recently, like in the last year, renting costumes. But we have
It's more because it was harder. It's harder to get.
Yeah.
And it takes so much longer. So some things we had to rent because it was period piece. And by the time we would have gotten anything from England, it would have been like a year or something.
Yeah.
So that we kind of, you know, we just have to like jump over things. But backing up, when we first, I'm sorry, I'm going to back us up, Gene.
Sure.
We forgot the main part. Like when an author reaches out to us, we usually, I would say 99% of the time, we really want to have a phone conversation or a Zoom or whatever. But we have to talk. we can't just like email. I feel like so much gets lost in email. So we always say, hey, we'd love to work with you. When can you have a conversation? Because I feel like when you speak to someone, you're really understanding what's important, like even just in the tone of their voice, like what you can kind of catch on, like what is the most important.
Oh, absolutely.
Story, right?
Like Shayne, especially.
Yeah.
Who gives you like the left and the right?
Yeah.
But it's really the center that he's leaving out, but he really hopes you find it.
That's right. It's a very passionate conversation.
That's absolutely true.
Absolutely.
And then we also start out with like a shot list. Like we need to know where the story is coming from. What is the story about? What is the series? Is it a series? Like if you tell us 3 books, probably you want 6 books.
Yep.
So that's usually where the ballpark is. And then we get started with communicating with the author and saying, we're going to send you some headshots. Does this look like your character? Does this look like your character? Like, what are you looking for? And at that point, then we start building from there. And then we get
because that's just the nature of how we always thought, because we knew we were going to bring live talent in. So we had this sort of mentality that we're bringing live talent in. What are they going to wear? Really super obsessive. And plus, we're both complete geeks when it comes to costumes and designs and props, that will take a job on just to get the costume and then lose the entire budget on creating this armor, this leather armor, just because we want to have it so badly. Props, we've cleaned up people's closets, who collect this stuff, bring it all home. And then we talk to our clients and understand exactly what their specific needs are, and then just either get it made or work it into 3D, which we started to do more and more. I think you were about to probably mention that. And so, and like you were saying earlier, your creativity has really forced us to go beyond any restrictions we might have had, because, we've got the photo, but now we've also got 3D, and we're just getting used to, just pushing the work as far as we can.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like, I think we all kind of complement each other, because we come up with a cool concept originally, and it could be via email or something, or text, because we're always talking whenever we're working on a project. But then it gets to the point where I'm just kind of throwing out ideas, and you're like, Shayne, stop.
Yeah.
Get on the phone. Get on the phone, because you sound like a crazy person. We don't know what you mean.
No way.
And Sasha replies like, what do you mean? I understand what he's talking about.
It's always me going, Jean's going on the side, what is he talking about? I'm like, just go with it. I know what he's talking about. I'll explain.
I don't know where he's going.
And Sasha's like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I canceled my appointment. I got it.
Yeah.
We got this. And it's always really funny.
It could have been Sasha's idea, for all I know. I'm like, who started this? I know, both have a great time with it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But what was one of your favorite projects of the TempleVerse, like favorite covers to work on? Oh, there you go. I actually made that up on my own, but Helen had the same question.
I have mine. You have yours?
Oh.
I don't have a particular
wait.
Of the 3. I
would have to choose one from each.
Yeah, I'd say one from each.
Fire.
Yeah.
I think Feathers of Fire is one of my all-time favorite overall series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The looks that we achieved in that photo shoot, in just the shoot.
Yeah.
The looks that were created, that Sasha got together, that we got together.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put those on the wall and be perfectly thrilled.
Just like that.
Yeah.
That shoot was off the charts. I think I showed you. I was her for Halloween. Like,
I'll have to
send it. I had the suit on. I had wings. I had huge wings.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Everything. I was just like, man, this is too badass to know. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, like
right.
You can cuss.
People are like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Callie."
It was so good. It was so good. Yeah.
But I love the one where I think it was the one we just, like the last one, right? Where she's flying in the air. That's like one of my favorites.
I agree.
Wow.
It really is one of my favorites. But Nate Temple, I would say when he's holding
the cover.
What's that?
That's not the updated cover. Is it?
Fire Lane.
We updated that.
Shayne, we updated that.
We updated that.
Great. You got me fired. Thanks a lot.
Don't do that. It's an oversight. It's okay. I'm just saying the cover looks even better.
There you go. It's even better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
For Nate, when he's holding the mask and like
Yeah.
all the lightning.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love lightning.
Yeah.
That one changed. We changed that one a lot at the end, where we kept changing, or maybe not. The progression, I remember seeing a lot of. Maybe you just showed me more of the progression, because it started out on like a gray smudged background with just Nate, and then you added the mask, and then you added rain, and so it was literally chromatic. There was no color, and then you added a little bit of red, and then you added a little bit of purple, I think, and you just like I saw the cartoon strip essentially of the still shots of it growing, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah, I love that one too.
It happens a lot. We will change, even if we say like what color direction do you want to go, but when we do something called a film strip, so we put all of them up, and then we have to make sure that the colors are not the same, because I'm a real stickler for that. I don't like one cover to like be the same color. Like it really has to stand out. And I've been sometimes maybe Gina, I don't know, maybe you get a little annoyed. So I'm like, no.
I'm annoyed now.
Yeah, you're going in the wrong direction. He'll be like, I'm just putting it there as like a holder. I'm like, no holder. No holders. And but actually, if I go on the horse, Nate on the horse, the one that was just up, that's one of my like blows my mind.
Dark Horse,
definitely had a vision with that, for sure. I mean, it's incredible. I need that on a shirt. Like that should be on a shirt. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll do it. We should have it on a shirt. You're right.
That is a shirt.
Yeah.
And also when he's in the chair, do you remember that was early on when he's sitting in the chair? I love that, because Jean and I were both obsessive about the fire, like the trail of fire going like back to the mansion. So, and I know that may sound strange and silly to some people, but we really obsess down to that little detail, because it has to make sense. Everything is about proportion, right? Everything is about, like perspective, really. It's about, so it all comes together, and the both of us staring at it until we, go blind, and then we send it to you because we feel like, let him deal with it.
Yeah, it's his problem now.
Well, the composition is always the hardest. It's a creative thinking that, I thank God, I've got Sasha as a partner on, because it's the creative thinking, and then it's the compositing, it's the composition. Once we've got that kind of working, then we fly into it, and we just fine tune everything. But
he might be working on something, like he'll be like fine tuning something, and then I'll be like on the computer. Well, I used to be sitting next to him on the computer. That's my chair, and my chair, my desk over there. And I would be like, okay, I just dumped stuff into the folder, like check that out, because I think that would be really cool in the background, or this one. Like that's how we work. We work like boop, 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 and then I might roll over there and be like ba ba ba, and then he might roll back over here and say the same thing to me. So now we just I think we're getting back into working together here.
And then to have creative, someone creative like yourself, who I think you have an extraordinary visual mind. I thank God all the time you don't have Photoshop, because probably drives you crazy that you don't. Is that you look at your ideas and you say to yourself, these ideas he has are just so brilliant, so creative, and it really gets you excited, because it's like a dream job. I mean, every client I've always, we basically have all dream jobs here, but the dream can get even stronger, especially with somebody who's got such a strong visual sense. And it's a collaboration of partnerships, right? It's partnerships in this process. So more back and forth, the better.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think I don't know how to do any of the things in my head. Like I can't do it on Photoshop, even if you put me behind a computer. But I can see it, and I can most of the time describe it to other people. Luckily, I know how to put words together, so you guys can understand.
Yes, all the books that I've read. It's like also when I actually find a lot of joy when I read your books, and then I'm like, the cover was perfect. Like connected different parts of the story. Now, when we were leaving little Easter eggs, not in Nate Temple, not Callie. We didn't do it in Kimber Swain, but we were leaving all the little Easter eggs.
Yeah, we did that we've done it on a couple books. Phantom Queen had some. Nate definitely had some, but Callie had some on the park bench.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
That one.
yes, the bear.
Yeah. And you guys put little carvings in the bench.
Yeah,
that's right. Hints, and spray paint on the wall of like a certain.
But that was your idea to start with. You're like, we should leave little Easter eggs, and then we had to figure out what those were going to be. So that was really fun. I feel like that really adds like another layer, a special element.
Totally. That one and the one you just were talking about with the mask, the Nate Temple one for the mask.
Yeah.
So those two composites, those two concepts came together so perfectly. I mean, they just so succinctly. They were just really enjoyable. I love it when it just goes like that. It's like, oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
No, it's. So let's see here. Let me see if Lane's pulling up more questions, or if I need to find one. So I know you guys have mentioned this. Oh, there you go. What was your thought process in making Kimbra Swain's Alchemist air covers, both obviously Argento while making it unique to her? So I guess keeping in with the theme of Argento, but making it unique to Kimbra.
This was big for us.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Jean, do you want to take? I have my idea.
Go ahead.
I'm doing a lot of talking here. We started a new site, which is our stock site, GS stock photography site, and this is a new direction. But we have been thinking about it for a long time. We just were so busy that we didn't have an opportunity to. And then, of course, when COVID and all that stuff, I was like, this is a great opportunity because we can't get into the studio. Yeah. So we have to use a lot of our stock photography. And it's like, well, I bet we should just do this now. Anyway, we took off with that, and please check it out. And when Lane contacted us, I was like, okay, we have to figure out how to not go Shayne wild, but still our quality of work at that level, but still with our heart and soul in it, but not Nate Temple and like it was just it's a different process. And what we decided, I feel, is you'll notice that there's less going on. Yeah. Jean? Yeah,
I agree.
There's a little less going on, really character driven, but also not going too far with him. It's just not as many layers. Yeah. All of your stuff is so many layers, like even the Easter eggs, down to the Easter eggs. We don't know enough about the story yet. We know a bit about the story, and it was like pulling that together. But we did more talking about it than we did art. We talked about it a lot, about what was going in there and looking at things before we placed anything in there. So it was a different process. It was like a lot of conversation.
Yeah, and and I think she was very visual, right? She had a Pinterest board loaded with stuff for you guys to look at.
She did. That was helpful. Yeah. It was helpful, but the only thing that it was helpful, but it was a lot of the same things. Yeah. So it was trying to take those same elements, but make them different, and how to grow them. Make them unique. Yeah. Right. So you can't just use a flat image. Like we had to go from there and how to make it different. Yeah.
We've always been, very, very, cautious, or not cautious, but, obviously very aware of, what every author's doing. And I always want to make sure the brands are very distinctly different, because we do have people competing in the same marketplace. But this was the first time we actually had a publisher, a small publishing house, that was also a client looking to, brand within Argento, another author. So it was a totally new experience that, I was freaked out for at least a week.
He was. And I was like, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. I was like, exactly what we're supposed to do here.
I'm like, it's not the same thing. It's like two completely different things, but we have to rein it in. Yeah. And the concept is there. and help and creating it. Show the last one if you can, or are you not showing it yet, Blaine?
Dove on a Skull, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I don't know if it's released.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's the most recent one you're about to release. Okay.
Okay. So we have
all 5.
Yeah.
Developed.
Okay. So no sneak peeks on it.
That's up to Lane.
I can get it. It'll just take a second.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I really enjoyed these.
So what is I know we've talked about this before, and we're always just so busy. I'm throwing you new projects, but I think a bunch of people would like if they had some kind of progression video, like a behind the scene type thing. Nothing crazy, but if I go up there, we'll definitely do a real behind the scenes video.
Yes.
But I think it'd be cool if we had like some kind of quick, 1 minute thing where it shows a progression of a cover. So kind of like what I was talking about with Legend.
Oh yeah.
Where it's got like where it started, and here's the model photo that we used, here's the pose that we used, and then here's when we added some rain, and here's when we added some highlights and some lowlights and whatever, and then the color, and then take away that color and put a different color, and like just kind of a quick like those Apple photos.
We could do that. We could definitely do that. We've done that before.
Yeah.
The build up, the cover build up.
Yeah.
Only the difference between some of our cover builds that we've done is because you guys love to push things into the stratosphere. It's almost like we put the project down completely and then we pick it back up.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't be the same layered file. It would be like, okay, here's what took place over 2 weeks as we developed the ideas, and that really would be cool. Yeah. We just have to clip it together differently, but.
Yeah, so it'd be less of like the screen watching, or sorry, a camera watching your screen, do the filter changes and all that. It'd be more of like snapshots of the direction. Like, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, and we do that a lot. I mean, honestly, with your work, I think we've done that. Oh, gosh, I don't know, so many times where we've developed the idea. Like, it's so progressively. Sometimes they take off and we got it, but sometimes it's a real process to get there.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we've had one that we didn't end up using. That was in my mind and Shayne's mind. We were like this. We were like, we both knew what we wanted. We couldn't quite get there.
Yep.
We even bought latex. Like we even bought liquid latex to like pour, but it was like we could not.
Still an amazing cover. I mean,
it was
the cover is like.
But we did learn a couple lessons,
It's fierce. We did learn some lessons, yes. But
all right, so we'll do a sneak peek that nobody's seen it yet. We haven't put it out on any social media or anything, but we'll just go ahead and put it out here.
Okay, a little sneak peek.
Hey!
Crown and the Crucible. So this is Kimbra Alchemist Air Book 5, right? Yeah. Crown and the Crucible. And that one is awesome. And that kind of touches on what you were referring to with we were trying to figure out how to do melting metal.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It's really hard.
And I was over here. Okay, so this is a good case where Sasha really came in and straightened me out a lot on this one. I was really taking it very, very literally. Like, we had like a foundry, and I was seeing a gold, and she's like, "What in the hell is what? You can't read it. It doesn't make any sense." And I was like, "That's what are you trying to say? Just
like,
so she's like, get rid of all this." I'm like, okay.
That's what happens if he starts and goes too far. He knows he can go like a certain point, and he's got to stop. And then I'm going to come in. I'm like, "What is this?" It's like,
it's really classic.
Rip it apart.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go to your studio because I've seen pictures of your wardrobe, like all the costumes that you guys have. But I didn't realize how much you love costumes until we went to Dragon Con, and was it Dragon Con? Yeah, I think it was. And we went to Artist Alley or whatever they call that.
Yeah.
And we got some pictures. Sasha, you put on like Wonder Woman's.
Oh yeah.
I
had Wonder Woman's armor on.
Yeah. You're just freaking out. You're like, "Oh my God, we need that. We need that." And Jean's like, "No. We've got enough."
Those amazing shields, and I think I bought a horn to drink out of. Really like.
The best part was, so there was a sword section, right, with the really big signs.
Awesome.
Do not touch anything in this place. Okay.
Yeah.
I turn around. She's got like the whole thing on. She's got the sword, shield, she's holding everything. I'm like, "You're gonna get out of here.
Well, then the guy comes over and he was like, oh, you're not supposed to. I was like, can I just touch that one? He was like, well, you're really not supposed to. I was like, but how about just that one? Can I touch that one? Finally, he said yes.
Yeah. As you keep stepping closer, you're
exactly.
Yeah, I was like,
well beyond the safety rope.
It's like a skin
stuff off the wall. And just,
I believe I'm pronouncing it right. A skin do. It's Scottish, and it's a small blade that you keep close to the body, women keep it under their skirts, and they're in their inner thigh or on their ankle. I was like, how about if I just touch the skin?
Why didn't you get it? You didn't take it?
What do you mean?
I had that. I didn't know you. I didn't know you had that in your possession.
I got all kinds of knives. I got crazy knives. But there, and he let me and then it was fine. I was like, what about that? And I pointed, and it was the what is that? What is it called? It's a chain, and on the end is the ball with the spikes.
Oh, mace.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was. Would a mace still have the spikes? Yeah. Same.
Some of them do. Yeah, there's a specific name, but
yeah, it was something. But he's like, it's really heavy, and I was like, okay, you hold one end, and I'll hold the other. And I got a picture of me holding it, and he's holding the other end of it. It was pretty.
Plus,
awesome.
We already own one. It's already here. We already have one.
Yes, there's one.
Not as nice with the pieces.
And this was really cool. And then we met with that woman who was she was a knight. She fought. Remember, she was they're so cool. I mean. That was awesome. That was good.
Yeah. I just think it's awesome when I'm like, hey, I've got this crazy idea of this, there's a sword and there's this, and you're like, oh yeah, we got 5 katanas. Which one do you like best? And you just send me pictures of your armory, and it's like, this is awesome. So yeah.
I mean, the costumes are not actually at the studio. There's too much. We actually have it here.
Yeah.
In the home office. Because there's too much, and we can't see it, we can't put eyes on it, we can't organize it for shoots. So we only keep so much.
By shoot. So shoot by shoot, whatever we think we need, which is usually we usually bring 5 cases more than we need, but you never know when you're gonna need leather pieces. Like when I did Callie's, I soaked muslin in dirt.
Yeah.
Real dirt, and scuffed it up and ripped it apart to wrap, and you never know what you're going to need. So, sometimes it's just making all these things, and I feel like it comes across better when you make it, and it's very unique. And we're not taking it from, Shutterstock and putting it on her. Sometimes we do that for certain things, but really detailed things like that. It's really fun to make things and add it.
And we've got someone commented in here, Jeff Pantanella. He said,
"Hey, Jeff, what's up?"
He said you guys do. He said you guys do his covers too. So
we do.
Throwing out some names there. But
that was wild. This guy that we used, his model was
Yeah. So here's a classic story, right? Got the guy, hired a model out of Wilhelmina, and Jeff's character is actually an Asian male character. Mm-hmm. And, we always will tell the agents, and by the way, this is
very active.
Yeah, very active, physical, so we need to be strong, blah, blah, blah. Guy gets in there, and we always give him the brief, we always show him the brief, tell him about it. And he starts doing these incredible picks and just direct leaps up off the stage. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me. In
the air. With a sword, he's like, I'm a martial artist. I was like, yes.
I don't know how many times it happened where we actually get the person we need.
Yeah.
Actual personality type. I mean, one day, this is really bizarre, but what do you call it? A motorcycle was in front of the studio. A guy put a motorcycle right in front of the studio. It was what the hell's the name of these things? I'm bad with this stuff. And we needed one for a shoot. And the super knew what we did, and just happened to park his bike across from the studio just in case you'd see it. Well, of course we're going to see it. The thing's the size of a wall. Yeah. And we ended up using it. We ended up using it to shoot eventually. But this guy came in for Jeff's shoot, and we just could not believe the good fortune we had on that, because you can direct. I mean, we're both fabulous directors, but I mean, to have the ability to do it and have the knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, we have to have them balancing on a chair, and then later we take the chair out, but we have them balancing with guns or swords or something, and then we take it out so it looks like they're flying through the air, but he's literally jumping and flying through the air and doing that.
Yeah, it's almost acrobatic depending on the martial arts background. I mean, a lot of the kung fu and Shaolin type stuff.
Doing that exactly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What just popped up there.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's
phenomenal. So on our Facebook page, Gene, maybe if whoever's listening,
that's me. That was me, by the way.
But that's you. You want me to do a kick on our Facebook page? What are we
put like a few of those shots of the guy doing that.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put one of the shots of me with the sign behind me saying "Do not touch it." I'm like holding it forward.
Yeah. It's amazing how when these people gravitate to the studio. Even Heather, for Feathers and Fire, her mother's read like every book. Her mother read every book. Her mother recently, because Heather's like impossible. If she's listening, she's like impossible to contact. Yeah. But she'll say yes to a job, and then that's when we see her. Yeah. But she's a fanatic for fantasy, and she reads everything, and she gets these characters, and you get her up there, and she's just going to town on this stuff.
She was phenomenal.
Magical.
Yeah,
and we've still got a whole list a whole backlog of photos that she took that we're going to be using for the next books, and I can't wait. We've got Sasha and I are always like, oh, what do you think of this one? No. What about this one? What about that one?
Oh, good.
These epic poses that are going to be in the next covers, so I can't wait to get started on those.
Yeah, really amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Really
what are we going to cook up, Shayne?
I don't know.
We've got a lot. We've got a lot to do.
For Shayne's fans who don't know how he quite thinks about his covers, what he does is he starts to text us images with no information. He just
that's true.
Concept art, drawings, black and white, ink blots. It could be any rough, raw suggestion of what's going on in his mind right now. And about the 10th one, we write back to Shayne. Is there something you want to talk about? Do you want to start something? What are you trying to get to here?
It's like my brain is just leaking ideas onto the text, and you're like, okay, he's ready. He's ready.
I think he's going to be tied up for the next month doing I don't know how many covers right now.
It's been too long. I've got because we kind of went ahead of schedule for a while, and so I've got a lot of ideas that have been brewing in my mind. So we got a lot to do.
It's probably some journals. But you probably journals of ideas at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So no,
we're learning a lot of new techniques also. So let's see
that's one thing that I think is cool is that I hope anyway is that I feel like I don't not intentionally, but that I pushed you with some of my ideas that I don't know what's possible. So I just ask you for something.
Oh, I think you know what's possible, and I think you know when you're pushing, and it's great.
And so I think a lot of times Gene will start cussing or just get really quiet on the phone call, and Sasha and I are just like, yeah. No, how about this? It's like, hold my beer, and Gene's just like, Jesus. And then, but I think we've ended up pushing some abilities or learning things that you're like, I didn't know I could do that. That's that's really cool, and so you've done some things that I would have never thought possible, and it's just amazing. Some of the art, like the horse, we didn't take a picture of a horse. And so you were able to make it into Grimm and make, you know what I mean? Like give them the unicorn feather or the horn and the feathers, and you guys are just phenomenal stuff. So
nice. You push us, and it's just great. It's that creative back and forth. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So what is your favorite part of the job, or the favorite part of the process? Maybe is it the actual design? Is it the concepts? Is just kind of tell me what your favorite part. Making the new cover is
sending the invoice. No, I'm not. That's not
I love it.
No.
That's not my favorite.
You are so good at your job, though. We have to say, we love working with you. You did a fantastic job on Kimbra's series. You really did.
You did. You ran
not an easy thing to do.
You guys do a great job. It's easy. It's easy with you guys. So.
Yeah. Shout out to you on that one. That was really great. Now, as far as the favorite part, I don't. It's funny.
Mine is the beginning.
Yeah, I think so too. I love the photography and thinking about the styling and thinking about the characters that they're envisioning. Right.
Yeah. I think if we're in the studio, it's definitely when we're in there and we're shooting, because it's a different kind of excitement that you're feeling, and you're creating this world with someone, and you're hoping to God that you're going to photograph. So it's exciting. You're hoping you're going to capture that for this author and this author's fans, especially for like rebranding somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking. It's just exciting on so many levels. Is like being artists and also wanting to create something really unique. I mean, it's just like so many different levels, but also we really always want to do an amazing job. We want to make sure that we're doing something unique. So there's that for me. But if we're using stock, I feel like the last day for me is the best, because we're just tweaking something that we were like, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know how we're going to do this. Like going crazy. And then we do it. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
Seeing those characters come to life in the studio, it's like, it's really like two jobs. It's like we do this photo session that is just so rewarding, hard to describe, and we're blowing our minds, at that level. And then we got to bring it in and turn it into what we want to see happen. It's amazing.
I think when the authors are happy and we have helped to create this world and bring that world to life, I feel like that is definitely rewarding.
The final products are just, then we get into the final product and we just have a ball with it.
Yeah. No, I know that's my favorite part is like after we have our convo and we're just kind of going crazy with all these ideas, then I just kind of sit there and hold my breath to wait for that first draft. And I'm like, oh, so what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then no matter what I'm doing, as soon as I get that email from you guys, as long as I have my phone, I just drop whatever I'm doing and I write. I'm like, oh yeah, let me see it. And I it's so excited and it just comes to life for me. So I think that's so cool.
I'm just freaking out on this side. I am.
Exactly. Yeah. You're probably like, oh man, I hope we didn't bomb it.
We haven't heard from him in like a whole 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't believe he hasn't responded yet. I'm like, in 30 seconds.
No, there's been times where I'm sitting there editing or something, and you're like, we sent it 2 hours ago, and I'm like, I don't have my phone. Oh my god, hold on. And so, like I didn't even know, but you guys are panicking. Like he must have done a bad job. He doesn't like it. He didn't respond.
Oh my god, we think the world.
So
yeah.
But no, that's awesome. Well, I think we've got to kind of cut it short, but I know you and I will all be talking very soon about new projects.
Great.
But I know the readers love talking to you guys.
Sweet.
They always want to hear from you guys. They want to hear how the whole process works. So we're trying to get everyone kind of little tastes of the audio and the cover design and this and that. So I know some of the readers got to meet you at Dragon Con, and that was really cool. And then 20 books to 50K.
Yeah,
to meet you there. And so we just wanted to find a way to bring you guys into it and meet some of the readers and tell them how the cover design process works, because they love the artwork you guys do. And so glad you guys could jump on. It really means
I love being here.
We're going to Vegas again this year, but we're both going to be there. Yeah,
we're going to be there.
Nice. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we'll see you in November. Yeah.
November, mid-November, I think.
Yeah. And can't wait for that.
We're
looking forward to it. Yeah,
it's going to be exciting.
We would have gone to Dragon Con, but it's going to get in the way. It'll distract us from what we want to do for November.
Yeah, that's true. Awesome.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, I think we got to cut it short. We got one more. We got something else coming up in like a minute, I think.
It's great.
This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. This was really fun. I miss you. We miss working with you, Shayne.
No, don't worry. I'll make you regret that very soon.
Oh God.
You guys have an awesome day.
Bye, Lane. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Lane.